Oh, all right. What's up, everybody?
That was smooth.
Was it?
Yeah.
It kind of felt like unrehearsed.
Yeah, a little bit.
How's everybody doing?
I just got here.
How you feeling? Let's get into that. Hold on.
I'm tired. I've been playing Fortnite.
Don't tell them your handle. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm figuring out the buttons here over on the camera, so it's a little flipping around. But if you're watching live, leave some comments, like, share, subscribe, hit all those bells, the subscriptions. I want to get those numbers up, hopefully, by the end of this week. Maybe we could,
Get your numbers up, Dan.
get my numbers up. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at my new handle, accidentally_based.
It's changed like 3 times in the past week and a half.
It's BASSED.
Yeah, Bast.
Accidentally Bassed?
Yeah,
Accidentally Bast.
I accidentally joined a band this weekend.
That's
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Lance?
40 Watt. No, different band. So,
Josie and the Pussycat Dolls.
I would also join that band.
Yeah.
So, we are back, and in the last 2 weeks, we have shot. Look, is anybody paying? Is anybody watching? Actually, do we know? Is there any numbers?
Let me look.
I got a comment from Micah.
Yeah.
He's the only one that counts.
Yeah, we got a few
Okay.
on, yeah.
So obviously, we did. Andy and I went out a couple weeks ago because the homeless situation was starting to concern us. So I went out just to see, to kind of catalog it, and you ended up reacting to it. and as a filmmaker,
Yeah, you just started recording.
I just started recording you, and then I put it together, and then so subsequently what's happened since then is there is a lot more footage.
Yes.
Stuff that is shocking, stuff that is scary, stuff that is most would consider insane, and that's going to be coming out periodically. So over the next few weeks, you'll have at least part 3 and part 4.
And most importantly, things that need to be addressed and fixed.
Correct. If people are just tuning in to watch the part 2 real quick, what can we just give a quick update on the cleanup on the trail on Railroad Ave on Saturday at 8:30? Is that still a thing? Or
Yeah. It's gonna the weather's gonna be really shitty, but we have permission to have a 30-yard dumpster located at a location. Whoever shows up, we're gonna let them know. I'm just waiting. Tomorrow, it's getting delivered tomorrow. I want to be sure that it's in the right spot before I announce where it's gonna be. But that it will be at its location till April 4th.
Okay.
So anyone that wants to come down, we're going to label the trail with parking cones, and we're going to have some garbage bags there, and you can fill up a garbage bag, drop it off at the parking cone, and we will pick it up.
And then we're going to have supplies and stuff for people down there too, correct?
Yes.
So like grabby things and
Yes.
rakes.
At least for Saturday.
You got to bring your own
Sunday.
protection, though, I think they said, right? Like gloves and stuff.
We'll supply some gloves, but I mean, leather hard gloves would probably be best, like real work gloves, not like those cheapos. That
Yeah, because there's actually needles.
right. But that's why we have the grabber thing.
So, what do you think? You want to watch part 2?
I'm excited. I haven't seen it. You showed me a little.
Well, now it's like
clip of
done.
it. A little. Well,
So
I'm glad we can all see this together.
I've updated it since you guys have seen it.
So I was telling Andy before this, you sent it to us, and I watched about the first maybe minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and then I turned it off because I wanted to be able to see it live here for the first time.
All right.
You know how I like to do zero preparation for this.
I appreciate your hard work.
Yeah, Mike is totally bassed. So
You want to join the band with me?
I was on purpose bassed.
Dan, you ready?
Yeah, let's get to this.
Okay, so without further ado, here's part 2, and it'll go live on YouTube in 10 minutes at 8:15, but you can watch it here exclusively. And stick around. If anybody wants to comment on X or YouTube, we will respond to your comments, and hopefully you guys share it, and hopefully we can get the needle moving in a direction of compassion. Okay, whenever you're ready, Dan. We decided to go out and see what these people were talking about and maybe to show people what it is.
How does it get to that point?
That's a pile of f***ing junk. Gotta help them somehow. But letting them alone, living by a river, that's not how you help people. I'm not gonna be able to sleep over this shit. How do you fix it?
Did you ever see something like this?
In third world country.
This is a shame. It's a shame. They shouldn't have these people living on the side. Well, these people should have homes or shelters to go to. Maybe they're alcoholics or something. They, have problems. They don't want to live that way, but they shouldn't live on a tent on the side of the trail. And they move to another spot. They move their camp. They leave all that garbage there and everything, which is a fire hazard. We need more security to take care of this issue. Cops patrolling or whatever it takes, because it's a shame what they're doing to our environment.
And we'll go up trail and I'll show you some points. A lot of times they're in spots that are in the flood zone and they get washed out. Many people do not appreciate the power of water and how quickly it can rise in a major storm event. I first had noticed them down here last spring, so just shy of a year, I would say, or so. And towards the end of the summer, they seem to have moved on. Fishing here in Lackawanna County in the waterways of the Lackawanna River watershed is a major economic engine for the region. And this is something that needs to be protected. And that ties into all these plastic products and such that are found strewn along the waterways. This is a spot that people will take a more short-term stay at. And often those individuals are newly introduced to the situation of not having residence anywhere, and so they will bring items down here. I have to clear it out quite often, and you'll see that they often have items that just are their possessions and really have no place with them trying to exist under these conditions, and they are often left behind. So here, this is a site that there was some debris, say a little over a year ago, and this past year, you can see how much more has been left down here. And this is just above the waterways. Winds come down, start blowing some of these plastic items, especially. You have a gallon jug there for drinks and such. They will get blown or washed by the storm waters coming down into the waterways. They chose a site such as this because it's sheltered with the rail bridge overhead, and then also it's conveniently located but not as open as some of the other sites. So let's get around and take a look. We do want to protect folks' rights, but we do need to address everyone's responsibilities as a member of society. This is the resulting mess. Much of this could have been avoided and kept in containers and such. Again, through whatever circumstances, this is what we have to contend with. Certain chemicals such as PFAS, which are the forever chemicals, they're called, polyfluoroalkyl substances. So when you have something such as this tarping or such right below us here, as the water's washing over it, it's as in the sun, it will start to break down. And that is far more concerning than just say one of these drink bottles getting washed into the waterway, because that's harder to contain and will constantly be breaking down, being exposed to the elements, the forces of water and such. And that is one of those less tangible. You don't see it, it's there, and it's an issue.
That just fell over. I just watched a man fall, sat down, fall. Now it seems like they do that like Kensington shuffle, and then they wake up. I've been watching it for about 20 minutes now. Any of that? Like, could you zoom in on that?
I can't see him.
You couldn't see him.
I can't see him with the camera. But if we walk down, we might be able to.
We gotta find a way to stop the drugs.
This is under Lackawanna Avenue Bridge. And as you can see, we've got the rail corridor, river, the trail system, and then this is up under the abutment next to the Central New Jersey Depot building. October of 22, DPW, City of Scranton, came in and cleared out underneath here. And 2 30-yard rollaways of trash were filled during that. Probably in the area of 8 tons of trash removed that time. The wash lines of all that vegetative debris are up on this terrace section above the water course there, and so any camps here would be affected. They'd be washed out or at least flooded out, where much of their bedding, clothing, etc. would get wet and then would no longer be usable. Sites such as this might seem ideal for someone to set up their camp. During the season, what looks like sparse, scraggly knotweed here will become a wall that you would not even see down to the waterway here. See all the items that are falling down from the camps up there. Some of it blown by wind, some of it, yeah, you never know. Plastic grocery bag that are far too prevalent, not just from the camps, but from just general public use. They get into the waterways, they break down very quickly, become fragile, and just start to fall apart. So one bag will start to have many small microplastics contributions into the waterways. Take out food containers, single-use plastics. This is personal trash that accumulates, which to have this removed as it's produced prevents a small issue from becoming a larger and harder to manage issue. And so that's just one of the approaches that we can take, is to address the issue of this accumulative trash over time. Another big issue is over here, the polystyrene, styrofoam cups. Anyone's familiar with the styrofoam, you'll see it looks like little beads that are all joined together. When these products break down, these individual beads, pieces of the polystyrene, are incredibly similar to, say, fish eggs that is consumed by wildlife. And so there you have another vehicle for all these microplastics to be directly introduced into the wildlife.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This is visible from the roadways, from the trail. You can see this is a highly visible spot. Normal winter, everything would be frozen in. We'd have some snowpack on top. That makes getting in, doing the cleanups too difficult. Also, nothing dries out. It becomes iced. It's heavy, it's hard to manage. None of the vegetative growth has come in yet. As you can see, all the Japanese knotweed here. Once that comes back in with season, it's a veritable wall. And it does somewhat obscure the view of these sites here, but they're still there, and they're still an environmental issue. They're always an aesthetic issue. Our plan of operations here is to get out at this time of year before the growth comes in, when the items are manageable. As well, with these camps, at this time of year, many of them are no longer occupied, so we do not have that additional issue of having to concern the project with the well-being and consideration of the individuals who have been camped here.
The suggestion now, correct me if I'm wrong, is to get dumpsters all around the city and let these people have access to it. That's the suggested course.
That is a consideration that
That's the only
can
thing
be
that
looked
I've
at.
heard that anyone has worked towards so far.
So I actually had an arrangement where some of the individuals I had known camping underneath Lackawanna Avenue up there by the abutment where we just were, they would bag up their trash, bring it down, and our contract for the trail system with the county, they would pick up the trash when the bags were there. And it did help to improve all this small stuff. Again, you leave behind a tarp, sleeping bag, that's manageable. When you have all this trash, all these food containers and such, plastic utensils, they come spilling down these slopes. It's much harder to manage.
How's everybody feeling?
It's significantly worse than I thought it was, even from when you and I were walking around down there.
Oh,
There's so much more. I didn't realize how much there was.
yeah.
Yep.
So, so just for context, that me and Andy went over to Lackawanna Heritage Valley and spoke with them, and they were incredibly kind, and they were very informative. And you know, who you saw in that was John Morrow, who works with LHVA, and he's awesome.
Great man.
He knows everything about the environment,
The trail, the railways.
everything. He knows. He's like a veritable. I thought we were on a tour.
He's a Scranton treasure, and he's not from here, right?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
And every word that he says is with purpose. He was never negative. He never slighted anybody. He just straight facts.
Yep.
Here's what's going on. And the Heritage Valley has been dealing with that for a while.
Years.
Yes.
Years.
And they've asked for help. And it seems like it doesn't come.
They've asked for help. Other people have asked for help. People in the neighborhood have asked for help. And that's one of the things that motivated me when someone said they were going to kill someone for cleaning up. And I'm like, wait a second, what? And I knew this kid. But not a kid. He's younger than me. I knew that.
I'm going to kill someone for, what does that mean?
He said, I'm going to kill you. Like a homeless person threatened. I'm not going to mention his name. Let's say his name's Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Joe lives 1 block away from where I grew up. I've known him. I've known his family. He's a good man. He's actually a historian. He goes to Gettysburg, and him and his dad, they do like reenactments. They're like real historians. And all he wanted to do was clean up the environment and, you know, try to be part of the solution. And he was threatened. His life was threatened.
Just for doing that, a homeless person came up to him?
And that was another thing that just, you know, lit this under my ass, and me and you got together, and it snowballed into here.
So I didn't understand, and maybe you didn't understand, because we came at this from a point of view of like, this is obscene. Like, this is just crazy, right? And then after going with John, I was like, oh my God, the implications for the environment are way
10 times worse.
Worse than I thought. The things that he's talking about and how he's talking about them, and the explanations of what happens and why it happens, and it was overwhelming for me to hear.
That section of river was just rated some of the highest ratings in the state for trout fishing.
Really?
Last year, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, and John talked all about it with us. You gotta get him on here.
I'd love to.
Talk about that.
But real smart guy, real knowledgeable, empathetic, caring, hard. It seems like a hard-working guy, man. He's out there, you know, doing things that like no one else is doing, and he's willingly doing it.
Yes.
You know, so
some of the stuff he's not even getting paid for the things that he does on the trail.
What are some of the big takeaways for you that maybe you didn't realize for that one?
For that, I was thinking after meeting with John how to clean this junk up. Like, you need rappelling gear to get this stuff up.
Because it's thrown over ledges and down slopes, and they're not very navigable.
So I came up with a little solution, because, you know, you can't criticize unless you're going to have a solution. I have some metal cables. I'm going to build a little pulley system to get this junk up and out of there, because there's tons of it.
So what has been the response that you have experienced from people? Has it been mostly negative, mostly positive?
Mostly positive. The only negativeness was online, and
everybody in person has been very positive.
Yes,
the online stuff doesn't count.
Yeah, they're punks, they're clowns, and if you're listening, I would love for you guys to just come out and help, instead of pointing and saying, "Oh, there's a problem. Oh, there's a problem. Oh, there's another problem." Especially when you get to look at some of these people's profiles, you're like, all they do is bitch. They don't complain, or they don't do anything besides complain.
The response the shock was the biggest one that I got. A lot of people said we didn't know. Like, we knew it was bad, but we didn't know how bad.
Yes.
And so maybe you guys can answer this for me, because I have my suspicions. But how does it get that bad? Like, how does it get, like, is it ignorance? Is it
indifference?
Lack of enforcing standards.
So
it will get as bad as it is allowed to get. That's how everything is.
If we permit it, we promote it.
Yep.
So why do you think over the last few years it's gotten so bad? Like, what do you like, why hasn't anyone addressed it in the way that it needs to be addressed? Like, do you think that, like, some of the places in town that are supposed to help people who are downtrodden are doing the right things or have enough support? Or do you think that, ultimately, like, we live in a city, and there's someone who leads the city, and there's a responsibility there, or a group of people that help lead the city? Do you, like, where do you just think that they didn't go down there? Because once you see it, it's like,
I don't think any of them had the intestinal fortitude to go down there. I don't think they have the stomach to see that policies have failed, and this is what it is. How many nonprofits do we have in Scranton? A ton, a plethora. I want to say it's probably over 1,000. I don't know. I'm just throwing those numbers out. There's a lot. between Catholic Social Services, veteran organizations. There's a ton of veteran organizations outside of the VA, outside of VFW, DAVs, your American Legions. There's organizations for everything, to include the Catholic Church inside the city.
Yeah. Well, I tend to be a little bit more cynical with my view on why. And for me, I look at the world pretty simply. If there is a problem, then somebody gets paid to find a solution. If the problem is solved, then that person no longer gets paid. I think I think basically the nonprofits, the people that are responsible for taking care of the problems, for helping these people get off the streets, for cleaning, if they fix it, they no longer have jobs. Right. So I think they are essentially incentivized to keep this problem going, so they keep getting a paycheck.
So in other words, like the rehab facility that has 0% recidivism will eventually go out of business.
Correct.
So there's an incentive to keep it open.
There's no money in curing cancer.
There's only money in treating
cancer.
Is that like a universal thing? Do you think, like, in some ways that is a
right? It's time.
Is it time?
Yeah.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how to make an old-fashioned, Andy Chomko is apparently a mixologist, and there's going to be some smoking of bourbons. Is it bourbon?
Yeah. So he's going to be making an old-fashioned. So do we want to take 5 minutes and talk about old-fashions?
Well, no. I mean, so people are commenting.
Oh yes.
So I'm going to get to. I don't know who the D-man is, but I'll try my best. Such the dude with the dogs was telling us we didn't think it was as bad as he was telling us all. I don't know what that means. If you want to clarify, that's fine. I'll get to your next comment. Are there any missing people that could have been swept into the raging river during storms? Here's what I'm going to tell you, is that in the next episode, there is mention of something like that, which kind of took us all by surprise when that was said. So I guess you're going to have to tune into part 3. Ralph Fan 1, don't know where you got your name from. I hope your name's Ralph. Why aren't the police being called? Why aren't existing laws being enforced?
That's a 2-part question.
Okay, so let's do the first one. Why aren't the police being called?
They are.
They are. Many of law enforcement that we spoke to, obviously anonymously, said that they want to do something, but apparently there's restrictions in some way. Why aren't existing laws being enforced? That is the question.
My God.
A lot of the times, what I think is going to happen is they're going to try to throw more money at it. That's all right, guys. I'm just talking here.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're over here.
Yeah, thanks.
Being awesome.
So, why aren't existing laws being enforced? That is true. They should be enforced. My guess is that they're going to try to throw more money at the problem and not solve anything. So enforcing the laws that are on the books is a really good thing to do. Why aren't the owners of the land responsible for the cleanup? One of the things that we heard was that a lot of that land, no one knows who it is. A lot of the land has apparently been forgotten through time, and no one has pursued the landowners. Some of the land, we do know who the landowners are. Some of them have to actually trespass people, so they say, hey, these people are trespassing on my property, I want them gone. Don't know why some of them aren't doing that. It's the city's leaders' jobs to see it and address it. I don't disagree. D-Man, back. What's the salary of the bigwig in charge? He has that poor guy trying his best. Don't know what that means. Don't know what bigwig, but the salary's probably plentiful. Sean McAndrew, thanks, buddy. Tom Borthwick, thanks, buddy. The D-Man is back. This has been presented for a long time. This isn't new. We agree. The other thing is that for some reason, no one was doing anything.
I wonder why that is.
It's weird.
So who's just... I'm sorry, but what the hell are we doing? I'm not going to let my son go down to a river and walk through human shit. I am not going to let other people, women, children, walk on the trail afraid, getting your finger bit. Last week, someone was stabbed on the trail. Like,
That is
what
true.
what in the world is going on?
That's a great fucking question, Andy. So let me move on a little
and
bit.
Whoever commented on that, what did you do? What have you done in the past year to make our city, your neighborhood,
I think they're on our side.
a better place? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I think we're okay. Next comment from the D-Man is, show us more video. We see all the pictures. Is there close-ups? There will be more video. There will be more close-ups.
There's some close-ups.
Yes.
You can get a real close view if you go this weekend and help with the cleanup.
Yep, sure can.
So Borthwick said, the eye contact just did it for me. You got it, buddy. And then, do you have an idea for how to solve it? What's the proactive answer? That's a really great question.
Proactive answer is to make sure that we put people in power that are going to make sure that the powers that be enforce the laws and make that very clear.
So I have a, what do you
And
think?
come this Saturday, up
And
until
help- and
April
help clean.
4th, get a garbage bag, pick up a garbage bag and go pick up some garbage down by the trail. Because as you see, there's tons and tons of it.
So I don't want to give away anything. We are learning a lot on this, and here's what I can tell you. The traditional answers, the traditional ways of dealing with this, I don't think are right. I don't think they're going to work. The problem with this is that it's not just it happened one day. This has been happening for a while, and now we're seeing the fruits of the genesis of incompetence.
Of doing nothing.
And I don't know. And the question is, if I can address Borthwick specifically, is, man, you know what? I don't know. There's some things that like we know that we're going to show that I don't want to really let out there yet, because
I don't know what you mean.
So
Answers are forthcoming, so join us in the future.
yes. The how. Here's what I'll tell you. When we come to some sort of natural end to what we're doing, I promise you that I will lay out what I think is the problem, how to fix it, and a lot of people won't like it. The man, we saw people at council with this problem. A lady was worried about the heat waves. D-Man.
That's nice.
It's not bad.
The extra cherry is delightful.
Hold on. The D-Man. We saw people at council with this problem already. A lady was worried about the heat waves. Cold kills 10 times more people than heat. The thing that we should all be concerned about is the cold. I'll tell you what, last night, you'll meet them in the next episode. There's these two sisters who are wonderful. From the limited experience I have with them, but we struck up a relationship, a friendship, and if you see the shot of John Morrow under the bridge on Lackawanna Avenue, in the background you see an orange tent. That's where they live. And last night the wind was so bad and the cold was so bad that they texted me to see if we can come down and help anchor the tent better. And me and my buddy went down at 9:30 last night. I was scared as shit. With like this huge flashlight that I'm spinning around like a disco ball.
Nobody saw you coming.
like a chain, like a battle chain.
thinking like an aggressive homeless guy's eyes are gonna light up like a cougar. I'm like, this is why we haven't seen Sasquatch in 200 years, because idiots like me are like this, hoping that their eyes light up. So, needless to say, we survived. We got their tent good, and it wouldn't blow in the river, which was good. And they told me that they were totally fine with they had enough warmth and stuff like that. But like it's like, and then you walk away and you feel like an absolute piece of shit.
They were really nice when we talked to them on the other side of the trail. Come on over.
Yeah,
all right, come on.
They were great.
Yeah.
Nice people.
April Jenkins, I don't think it's a one-way solution. There's going to need to be collaboration for current needs to be met, as well as future needs to ensure the cycle is broken and not repeated. There's April. It's deep. It's dark, and I don't know if it's easily fixable if you choose that path, but it's very hard when you have all these stakeholders and players and nonprofit organizations and administrations and government and
as you said, that there's people that are suffering from psychosis. There's people that are suffering from mental illness that I'm not sure what the law can actually do to actually help them. Do they want to be helped? If you ask them, do you want to be helped? No. Okay.
Then what do you do?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, you can't force anybody. You know, that's one of the biggest problems is like you can't, like all of us sitting around here are like, America, fuck yeah, like we want like peace and freedom and don't mess with me and don't tread on me and all this stuff. But like you want to fix a problem, and then if they don't want help, what do? Like you are now, to force them into getting help is against everything that I believe in.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in that video.
In that one?
I sat there and watched a man for about 20 minutes. He was clearly on drugs.
Clearly.
I never did fentanyl.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Hate it.
next podcast.
Hate the damn stuff.
Well, you're I mean, in your profession, you see that. You see the effects of fentanyl.
I see the effects of fentanyl. And until everyone says enough, it doesn't matter how many facilities we have to treat these people until we stop it at the source and just stop it at the source.
Just in case there's anybody new, your profession is intimate with bodies. It is.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe not intimate with bodies.
Well, not intimate. That's a poor word, but
no, I am.
I want to phrase that better, Dan. Like, do you want to? We can't do a take two on a live, but
I am
holy
a funeral
shit!
director, and I do not condone necrophilia.
Good. Now that we got that out of the way,
You don't?
Is that good, Dan?
Okay.
that is, yes, I can.
No, it's a federal crime.
yeah. I mean, you see. I mean, but you see how. I mean, you have seen people come through your funeral home that have been.
Yes, and the effects that it has on their family, the effects that it has on the community. A few months ago, someone who I knew since I was a child overdosed and died. And I had to help him and his family and give them some sort of closure after something that just should never have happened.
And then you ask yourself, where's all the drugs coming from? And then you look at whatever.
And you go all the answers are not good. And you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are these people doing?
There's unmitigated fentanyl coming through the border.
Yep. Don't give a shit. Let them die.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, let's bring more people in too.
So,
to my original point,
did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
If you fix that problem with fentanyl coming over the southern border, then you no longer have a job. You no longer win an election. If there's not something fixable, if there's not something to run on, then you no longer have a campaign speech. So why are these things happening? Why are these things being allowed to happen? Because November's around the corner. It's real simple.
That's insane. Like human suffering for fucking politics.
They could have been fixing this 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right when they shut everything down and made a lot of these people get out on the damn streets.
Oh yes, let's not even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that might play into it. Fucking
time has shown.
Wasn't the best move.
So there's just so much. I wish I could parse everything down into like these like guys on TV who can easily explain things to you, but it's so complex. And the amount of human suffering that we saw down there. Yep. And like, they're good people. Like, they are not bad. Like, the ones that we ran into are not bad people. And I don't. You know, people can have their opinions, and the thing is like, the thing that I noticed about all of them is there's a trauma. Like, somewhere along the line was a trauma that was basically like the inciting incident for the next act of their life.
Yeah.
And it was never dealt with. It was never, you know, we don't, the mental health crisis in this country that is being, in my opinion, not dealt with properly. All the avenues that they take are
Didn't they used to
drugs.
have government-funded mental health institutions?
Yes, and Reagan got rid of that in the 80s.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Didn't he do something with the pharmaceutical people?
He gave them so there's something called the Dole-By Act in 1986, and what that did is that held the pharmaceutical companies harmless from vaccinations. I don't know if there's a correlation, wink, with that and the mental health crisis going on right now.
Yeah.
But to close mental institutions, because now what you do is this. You say, hey, we don't have any place to rehab you or deal with your trauma or help you handle whatever demons that you have in your mind, which I believe is all from trauma. So we're either going to put you in jail or we're going to let you live on the street, which for some reason seemed like whoever was thinking that thought it was a better option.
So I just real quick looked up the act you're talking about.
Hey, I was right.
United States legislation permitting ownership by contractors of inventions, blah, 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 arising from federal government-funded research. So if the government funds your research, you cannot be sued. Sponsored by Senators Birch Baugh, is that how you say it, of Indiana, I think, and Bob Dole of Kansas. Adopted in 1980, codified. Let's see here. Legislative history introduced by Robert Kastenmeier, Democrat, Wisconsin, in 1980. Committee consideration, House Judiciary, House Government Operations, Senate Judiciary. Passed the House in November of 1980. Signed into law by President Jimmy Carter on December 12, 1980.
That was the Dole-By Act?
Yep.
Oh, so I got the years wrong.
Cool.
Oh,
Wow.
Peanut Farmer fucked us all.
Well, did you say penis farmer?
Peanut.
Oh, I'm sorry.
These state-run facilities, though, are those the same ones, though, that, like, Geraldo went into? Like, they were deplorable, some of these hospitals, though, because they were underfunded and understaffed and overpacked, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, it would be like Eastern State Penn. Like, or if you watch, like, 12 Monkeys, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is nuts. So that, I mean, we have I think the last 100 years are going to be looked at as the dark ages of medicine because we didn't do the right things. We tried to capitalize on human suffering. We tried to find a way to make money, and the pharmaceutical companies and the mental health industry ended up being just the regular snake oil salesman who came through town.
Yeah.
And now it's just they just found a way to capitalize on it
And destroy the
profit.
river.
And destroy everything.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, the river. The thing about the river is like you can't claim that it's this beautiful thing, and meanwhile you're fly fishing next to a trash heap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Someone sent me a video after you aired the first video, and it was someone from our city, an elected official from our city on Bloomberg TV saying that we have a beautiful river going through our town.
Man,
I'm
there's
like,
so many.
I'm like, this is unreal. This did not those words did not come out of the mouth. I'm like, oh my Lord.
So,
And-
man, there's a lot of elected officials on TV. I wonder who was on Bloomberg.
Joe Biden. No.
Was it Joe Biden?
I don't think he was.
Was it Hillary Clinton?
I don't
They're
think,
both kind of from here,
I
which
don't
is
think they were
weird.
Grace Bloomberg.
It's really strange how the optics work, how perception is supposed to be reality. You know, I'm going to tell you these things, and you're going to believe them.
Yes. That's it. It seems like that.
Isn't
You shall listen, boy.
I don't
type
think they
stuff.
really do that, though. But if we're not careful, this river is going to turn into an ecological bloodbath.
Oh my God!
That's nice.
Oh, you're the best. That was the thing that really, like, I mean, we are surrounded by a certain political party. The certain political party believes in the environment.
Yes,
That should be a top priority for them.
should be.
Why isn't it?
Well,
And I'm not saying that you know the answer. What's your hypothesis?
So you got to, instead of talk about it, you got to be about it, and
Sure.
that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm a Democrat. I'm going to go down the river and clean up on Saturday, and I think everyone should too. And if you don't, I think you should support people and just stop bitching about it. Either be part of the solution or shut your mouth or offer a solution. And you can come down Saturday and talk to me about it if you don't like it.
8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m. I'll be there.
Railroad Ave.
Friday night, I'm going to be spraying down all my gear with some water repellent because a little bit of rain's not going to stop. I mean, unless it's hurricane rain. I mean, we are getting a bad storm though, like 1.25 inches all day. I mean, that's not That's really not a lot of rain.
So real quick for people that are listening, so the dumpsters are going to be out there on the 23rd, this Saturday,
This Saturday until
through
the 4th.
April 4th.
Yes, one location for the dumpster, but we are going to have cones marked for.
So 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be out there Sunday as well because it's. I mean, depending on if it's shitty out tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people we're going to get, but I know that there are at least 10 of us that are definitely going to be there, and we're definitely going to get trash picked up.
You can find the information. It's Lackawanna Heritage Trail on Facebook.
LHVA, Lackawanna Heritage
I don't know,
Valley
did
Association.
they put it on there?
Or you look up Andy Chomko.
Yeah.
What a Week posted it. I think we posted it.
I think you did.
Yeah, we posted it. Exploring with Nomad commented, Kyle Santos, I hope you're related to George Santos, one of my favorite representatives in Congress. Supposedly, they're supposed to be building a shelter in the Scranton area over on Linden where they just tore down that old warehouse. That's not the rumor I heard. The rumor I heard it's going to be off of Penn and Olive. Or is Penn... Yeah, Penn and Olive.
Penn and Olive, so right where
Like
the
pen
St.
paper?
Francis Commons is now. The veterans home is
One block down.
one block down.
One block down.
In which direction?
Towards... away from the city, central city.
Yeah.
So if you go to St. Francis...
Yep.
Hop down to that light where the railroad trestle is.
And on the other side, in
On the
between
other
there and
side.
Heavens?
Yep, on the other side. That's what I heard, and it's gonna. So sadly, the river has been in rough shape for over 20 years, even when I was a kid. Man, we should send you that Bloomberg interview.
It's fine.
I grew up right up the street, the funeral home. I played there when I was a kid. Me and a couple of the neighborhood kids, we would go down there and play, cops and robbers, Indians and cowboys, anything.
I played Cowboys and Indians. Is that different?
Well, I guess it depends who's winning and who's losing. We're the Indians.
Well, that's true. That's true.
We're always the Indians,
Ralph Fan 1, why aren't the public city council Lackawanna County meetings packed? That is a great question. I think they should be standing room only, but no one goes.
Yep.
No one goes. Like you watch the county commissioner meetings, you watch the city council meetings, and they're all on YouTube, they're all live, and they're all archived for everyone to see. And when you go back and look at them, it's like 100 views, 50 views. It seems for some reason the people in this town, in this area, don't engage or give a damn about what the people who make the decisions that impact them are doing. That's my view.
Kyle Santos. Mark, you know who this is, LOL. Def not related to George.
I do know who it is, and I was crossing my fingers.
Next one. Go ahead, Marky.
You are doing the job of the city and also news stations. Ralph, here's what I'm going to tell you about that. That's insane.
It's right here, buddy. No one's reading this. No one's doing this. No one. Cheers, buddy.
The people.
That's the. I said to somebody the other day.
Cheers.
I said it's a fucking shame that we're the ones out there doing it. We're the ones trying to bring attention to it. We're the ones that are trying to motivate people in the community to be a part of it.
And standards need to be upheld.
Correct.
Laws need to be upheld.
Yeah, let everybody do their jobs.
If it was any of us here and we had property along a river and it looked like that, we would all be fucked with a capital F.
Yeah, there's a whole code enforcement thing that would come and get you.
Not even code enforcement. So wherever that water washes up, especially if it's of a navigable waterway. Navigable. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're drinking an old-fashioned.
Well, half. Wherever that water ends, that is where federal jurisdiction ends. Also, this is a DCNR funded trail, I'm told. Now, with that, why...
Explain that so people understand.
So essentially, the state forest rangers fund that trail, or a portion of it, from what I understand. I don't know why they cannot enforce law on that, because if a forest ranger ever came up to any one of us on any state property or DCNR forest property, and our camp looked like that, screwed.
Yeah, we'd all be fined, right?
Yeah, maybe in jail, depending on how egregious it is.
The D-Man, everybody all talk. We see Sean, Victor, Dude, Mike, Pickleball Page, and a couple NE faces, then some regulars. D-Man, do spell check and get back to us. I don't know what that means. Right on, Andy. Hell yeah. Existing laws is where you start. Absolutely. You need to force it every meeting. I agree. I think every school board meeting, every city council meeting, every county commissioner meeting, fill it to the doors.
I stopped
Standing room only.
I stopped reading the newspaper a while ago and paying attention to some of the stuff a while ago because it seemed like it was like a hamster wheel, just burning up, burn up the bearings on that thing.
I encourage.
No one's doing anything.
I encourage. If you guys want, reach out to us. We will let you know when all of these meetings are. City councils every week. County commissioners are once a month. Scranton School Board are kind of twice a month because they do like a prep meeting and then they do like the general meeting. But people, citizens, taxpayers can go speak at those meetings because the Constitution allows you to redress your government. And redress your government means that I get to say, without fear of reprisal or anything, the criticisms that I have or we have, and we hope that you will do something about it because we're not going to be silent. We're not going to be quiet about it. You know, I've seen all these meetings. I know the people that go to them. They're great fucking people. You know, there are people that are at these. There's about a dozen of them that are at like every meeting, and the only time that people come is when their area has an issue. I'll give you an example. About 2 months ago, it was like 8 people from Green Ridge showed up at a city council meeting because their cars are getting stolen and being driven to New York. Within like 90 minutes, their cars are in New York. So they went to ask for some sort of police presence in their neighborhoods. But the police presence wasn't there earlier, and no cars were getting stolen. So why are cars getting stolen? No one picks up on that. The newspaper doesn't tell you the things that matter. The news stations don't tell you the things that matter because they're all corporate. Now your local newspaper's corporate, but they didn't really tell you the truth for the last 100 years anyways. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to encourage anybody to just pay attention to this. You know, and homelessness is not where we end. Homelessness is where we begin. Well, that sounded like a threat.
Damn.
I didn't mean to do that.
Well, maybe it should be taken as one.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. So I just wanted to real quick pull something
Do
up.
your jobs, or we're going to come and take them.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm going to read here. So one of the writers, philosophers, that was the one of the basis for this country being formed. This document I'm going to do an Andy right here, being written, was a man by the name of John Locke, and he wrote 2 treatises on government. And in the second one, he talked about the idea of the elected leaders that are elected by the people need to protect the people. They need to protect their, as the Constitution says, as the Declaration of Independence says, as all of our early founding political documents say, we have natural rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and property. And to quote, rulers who fail to protect those rights may be removed by the people by force if necessary.
Dang.
That's enshrined in our Constitution.
Dang.
Yeah. No one's advocating for that, but it's there.
Yep.
Technically, you shouldn't get in trouble for that. You know, it's like squatters. Like, get out of my house. You know.
So what do you do? Do you go there with like a big paddle with some holes in it and say, "Get out of here"?
Nah. Buckets of rats.
Buckets of rats. We should bring back tarring and feathering.
It was brutal. Here, it's sad. Here's from Exploring with Nomad. It's sad that things like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution are being pushed off like they don't matter. I've heard people literally say that they are from hundreds of years ago and aren't. I heard people literally say that they are from hundreds of years. Are you talking about time travelers?
No, the documents are from hundreds of years ago.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is that what you took from that?
I couldn't understand it. Because you're not George Santos. That's the thing. So history is not something that was just like born into existence the moment America started. If you look back at the history of human beings, right? The thing about the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, is that everything before 1776
didn't matter.
Was some sort of authoritarian government where people were oppressed And America was the first time that you had freedom of thought and speech, which allows you to think whatever the hell you want to think, whatever you want to believe. Just don't screw with other people. And there were measures to take care of that. I don't think the I'm now like a constitutionalist. I really heartily believe in what they were saying.
Sure.
I have an interesting question for people, and like, listen, if anybody's listening, write it in the comments. We're pretty much on YouTube with comments. I understand what people are saying about the Constitution. I get it. It is an old document. So which part do you want to get rid of first? The 19th Amendment?
Oh.
The 14th Amendment?
The 4th? The 5th? I mean, you can...
what parts do you want to get rid of? The first? Where you're
Which one?
not allowed to speak freely? I mean...
This is what we're doing right now. We are exercising our First Amendment rights.
Yes.
Because we are the press. People are the press. You at home, people commenting, you are the press. ABC, NBC, Fox, CNN did not exist in 1776. It was you. You had the ability and the freedom to criticize the people in charge and your neighbor and whoever without fear of reprisal or prejudice. That's what it was for. And they understood that because they had thousands of years history to go, oh, hey, these guys all really screwed people over. We don't want to do that. We want to be a representative government, a representative republic.
Sure.
50 states that decided to organize together with their own laws and have a federal government that was just supposed to protect us. But that got a little out of control, don't we think?
I mean, states, sovereign nations, really, that were under...
That's what they are.
Yeah.
That's what they
literally
really
called the United States of America.
Yeah. They're all...
No, yeah.
Like the state of Russia, the state of the Czech Republic. Like the United States is 50 countries that decided to organize as the United States of America.
And then say, bitches, come
That's
get us.
a republic. There's your fucking constitutional lesson.
Yeah. And then, people that want to barbecue people and...
You mean...
Cut humans up, light them on fire, all that stuff. Yeah, but they better not ever touch our ships. Once you touch America's ships...
Oh, it's on.
That's when...
Apparently, that's like the big dividing line.
Yeah, once you touch America's ships, it's you are effed.
The D-man. It all starts with ordinances. Council does not know their powers. The ordinances are already there.
Yep, they're all there.
All
they're
those
just
things
not
are already there.
As
not being enforced.
As a few council people told me, or former council people, we gotta get legislation that has some teeth in it. You have teeth. You
chose to take the teeth out of your mouth. Put your teeth back in.
That's the lips department. That's the people that can go out and make sure that our city's a better place. And I feel like anyone that works for the city, and if they don't wake up and go to work every day, like, hey, how can I make the city better? Wayne Evans said it. Do something better every day for the city.
Sure. Ralph Fan 1. Yes, if you can have an information drop every week so people know where to go and what to do, you guys are right on. We will tell you about the city council meetings, all the meetings.
Oh, we're going to be really popular.
And also, we're trying to work our way to subscriptions so we can make a couple bucks at this, so we can actually do it really well, so that you guys can get all the information that you need. Micah Woodard, ha 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 ha. The D-man, ha ha ha.
Hey, well said, guys.
Can we talk about all the people who have reached out so far?
Can we just do one more comment and then we'll go? Okay, Ralph, Fan 1. You three guys run for office, please. We need local government that looks and sounds like you three. We would have a real functioning government. Ralph, I ran for office for school board. I lost. Andy ran for city council. He lost. Mike is just a loser, and Dan isn't allowed near playgrounds.
Whoa! No, I just don't live in Scranton.
Correct. That's what I meant. So
apparently that's not a requirement anymore.
Andy and I have both ran. Andy is a lifelong Democrat. I was a lifelong Democrat until 2020. Now I'm a registered Republican, and I'm registered Republican because I have no say in the Democratic primary, but I might be able to have a say in who can run against the Democrat in a general.
And I'm an independent, and I am unelectable.
Correct. Two things that are true.
Some Democrats hate me, and some Republicans love me. So,
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird because what that means to me is that the party don't matter.
Yeah.
It's what you do. Your content of your character. That's what matters. Okay. Hopefully we answered that. You were about to say before I cut you off.
I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Remember I said I just want to get to this comment and then you could say whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was, Dan? You're usually...
No, but just finally, Ralph said run again, very emphatically.
You got to convince me, bro.
I think we have more
I don't
power
think,
here, though, too.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, I think we're doing more good here with this. It's funny, like after the first episode aired, I went home, and my wife, who stays completely out of politics, just doesn't want to be involved. Not her world. Was ready to go to city council and she's lit up about the homeless problem, especially near the high school. I mean, we have our kids went to high school there. Our daughter's currently in high school there. And I went home after the first episode and I said, I think we accidentally just wanted to like show people what's going on and talk about it and be like, hey guys, this is a problem. Like maybe we should do something. And I think we might have accidentally, I told her we might have accidentally just become the people who now have to fix the homeless problem in Scranton. And she goes, yep.
Not even that. We're going to fix that and then we're going to fix other things too.
Yeah. Once we solve this, we're going to move on to the next one.
We'll show you guys how to do your jobs.
So Ralph,
we could do that.
Ralph, running again for any of us in this room who is not out of the picture, but it's not really. It's definitely at the forefront of my mind. I don't want to speak for Andy, and I don't want Andy to speak at all about this right now. But you were going to talk about the people that reached out.
Yeah, a bunch of people have reached out.
Yeah. So what did you hear from that?
From donating hydraulic machinery, skidsters, front end loaders, dumpsters. People just randomly, how could we help? And some guy commented and messaged me, Mr. Chomko, can you help me? And I messaged him back, and he never said, yeah, what do you need help with? He never got back to me. So I don't know if that was like a Russian bot or I don't know.
Maybe he was actually like in a car in a river just sinking, and he was trying to get you to help him.
And I don't want to mention names, but there was.
It seemed like a desperate cry for help.
As a trout just swims by.
No. A poison trout.
There was a female that called me this morning, and she already has donations from Lowe's, Home Depot, Dunkin' Donuts for this Saturday. Amazing that people are just coming together like this.
Here's a crazy thing that people don't realize. You have waited for years for your elected officials to do something, and all they had to do was ask.
Yeah.
All they had to do was say, hey, there's a problem. It's a little overwhelming. Can we have some help? That's what we did. And then you get all these people who are reaching out to you, donating everything. And you know how much it's going to cost the taxpayers?
Zero.
What?
Wait a second. We got to create a job for that. We have to create a job for that.
No, you don't need to.
Need a police system? Got to create a job for that.
No.
We should start a committee to make sure we can all do this too.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to make a
Did we run it by the committee?
Yeah, should we get a pre-committee for the committee?
Did OSHA clear your pulley system?
No, nothing that we're doing is illegal. We're cleaning shit up.
It's amazing how quickly and efficiently things can get done when just a couple of people think that maybe we'll try something and rather than have to do it through government. Yeah. It's almost as if government is not very good at doing things.
We just need them to do their job.
Yeah.
If they were doing their job, we wouldn't have to do this.
Now, I also want to clarify this.
Who's this lady?
Hold on one second. This is not an indictment.
Are they commenting about me?
Yeah, her name is Bridget Chomko.
Oh, she wants us to. Bridget, you're right. We need a study to start to do the pre-committee, to talk about the committee, to have the committee, so that there's 4 lines of separation between a solution.
Bridget, have you met our friend Andy? He's a handsome man.
She sounds lovely.
She sounds delightful.
By the way, no homo. Your hair's amazing lately.
Well, it's all because of my wife. She said, this is the longest my hair's ever been.
And it's gorgeous. In my life. It flows.
Yeah, I mean, it was a month ago as long as it's ever been in my life. And Bridget is the one that told me. She said, you need to grow your hair out. You have really nice hair.
Yeah, it flows. It's real nice.
So I'm just really hairy right now. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
So,
Mama likes. Gives her something to hold on to.
I want to thank Lori O'Hara. We're doing Saturday at 8:30.
And we'll do it again Sunday.
And we'll do it again Sunday if the rain is a real problem for some people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there.
Just throwing it out there. Well, Mike is not going to be there because his daughter is singing in the Scranton Show Choir down in Virginia, and
it's her last one ever.
And well, here's what I know: if his daughter did not have a show choir, Micah would be there. And they're phenomenal. The Scranton High School Show Choir is phenomenal.
I'll be there.
I have to build I think it's called a Swiss seat, like a harness.
Oh, I watched a couple Asian guys do that on YouTube the other day with ropes. They did it in like 3 seconds. It was
I've done
amazing.
it with webbing before.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dan's also an Eagle
Yeah.
Scout.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you gonna
Yeah.
be there Saturday? Let's
I'm
rappel.
gonna try to be there Saturday. Yeah.
Maybe not rappelling, but like some of the slopes, I'm prepared to make a little seat, some rope, and
Yeah, it'll be great.
D-ring in and
Try
whoop,
to
slam my ass down
try
there
to
so
a
I
ball
don't-
hitch of a truck and just lower him down.
No,
you-
I have a pulley system for the front end loader for the our New Holland tractor that we're going to be bringing down.
Yeah.
here. A nice little pulley system that I borrowed off my lieutenant colonel friend, or no, lieutenant commander.
You better get this right because I would get it wrong.
He's in the Navy. He's a lieutenant commander in the Navy Reserves.
Appreciate you, sir.
Yep. Gave me his chains and stuff because I knew that man knows how to get shit done. So I said, "Hey, could I borrow your pulley system?" And he said, "Yeah."
Next comment. Dan, I thought it was Pigeon Scout.
It's an Eagle Scout.
Oh, that's my wife. Is that my wife?
Yes, that is your wife.
Hey, she wants to come on.
To talk about what? Knitting?
Probably me.
Oh, you know what we should do?
The wives?
Yeah.
Aw.
We should have both of them on here. It would be
I just
hysterical.
always.
We could do one on like marriage and relationships
Oh, now he's being a bastard.
and international brides.
So okay, let's wrap this. Let's get close to wrapping this up, unless people have more questions, because we'll tell you as much as we can. The thing here's okay. So here's what to expect in the future. Episode 3 is called "Nearer My God to Thee," and
Really? Do you want me to sing?
no, you can look it up on what it means. I think it was very appropriate, and it came to me out of nowhere. I was sitting there, and
The song?
the phrase,
Yeah.
and when I looked it up, what it meant, I was like, oh, this is totally appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I'll tell you about part 4. Part 4 is, and I'm saying it right now, so I never change it.
Okay, yeah.
Part 3.
Part 3 is called "Nearer My God to Thee."
Oh, okay.
Part 4 is going to be called. You want to say it?
The adults in the room.
Yes.
Ooh.
Isn't that a good title?
That's a great title.
Isn't that a good title?
Yeah, I wonder who's going to be there.
So
So are we not allowed to come?
so just so people know,
I'm bringing something.
part
fun.
3 is pretty much shot in parts of part 4. I'm incredibly grateful to everybody. The surprising thing to us is how readily people were willing to talk.
Yes.
And the opinion.
And how easy it is to shut down trolls, just to be able to offer something of value here.
Oh, like on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm just in case anyone wants to know, I'm the one shit posting on the comments.
You're not shit posting. You're just responding accordingly.
What was my favorite one? Some guy named Jose commented and said something pretty mean,
Yeah.
and I wrote back, "No way, Jose." And I thought it was awesome. So we're going to be out there Saturday at 8:30 on Railroad Avenue, across from the Sunoco.
South 7th and Railroad.
South 7th and Railroad. We will have what seems like an operation. Maybe after this we can go to the border and secure that.
Could do that.
Ooh, are we going on a road trip?
I would love to.
I already know guys that are doing that.
Anybody who's got money and wants to bankroll us going to the border, we'll go. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Share the video. I think it's really important to show the environmental impact that is having, that the debris and the left behind stuff, and who knows about other things that are going to pour in there, liquids or some sort of toxin somewhere from some sort of thing. We found a lot of urine bottles. We found a lot of poo, human poo.
I love
I
the way
like
you
saying
say
it that
poo.
way.
I have a real
Human
big problem
poo.
with shit and eyeballs.
Poop in eyeballs?
Just from my perspective of being a funeral director.
Dude, don't go into that. That'll freak me out. I
What
wanna
is
talk about it.
happening?
No,
No,
don't go in
please
there.
do.
No, don't.
Well, okay.
Don't.
Are lots of
Don't.
people dying from poop and eyeballs?
No,
Mark, leave the room. Me and
it's-
Micah want to hear about poop and
I'm
eyeballs.
not doing
It is
No.
a fact of the profession. There are
For your
things-
podcast, we'll do that. Don't do that here. This is about fixing the city, not pooping eyeballs.
Come on, Anti-Popcast. We'll talk about poop and eyeballs.
Dad'll happily.
We'll
talk.
play full stream Fortnite.
Looks like we got a couple more comments, and I don't know who these people are, but
Giardiasis.
it's crotcheting.
crocheting.
I know.
Okay.
There's no difference.
like a crotch.
Yeah. Crotcheting? I don't know. I don't know.
Here's what I will tell you.
Crazy people are.
We have witnessed there are things being put in the river. I know that for a fact. I've seen that. I've smelled it. And there are people who put things in the river. So that should be of concern. What else is there?
Man,
I'm trying to think of like whatever I can without letting anything go.
The Betty Welby Food Foundation gave us 12 packets of personal hygiene stuff for folks we may run into.
What are they called? Sundries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice old-timey word.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Sundries.
Yep.
So Betty Welby Foundation?
Yeah, the McNichols family and Mikey McNichols, his mother, her maiden name is a Welby, and the Welbys are a large West Scranton family.
Yeah, Irish family not breeding.
Yeah, probably didn't. I mean, back in the day,
There's nothing else to do.
TV's off.
Yep.
No radio, no nothing. But yeah, there's a large contingent of them, and they started a food foundation.
Yeah.
in a way to help people, and they gave us some stuff to help our cause.
There's one more comment. This guy's name is J Bulls HD. Dude, your name's awesome. I live in Hawley on the Lackawanna River. They are in the process of putting a trail along here from Honesdale to Hawley, and I'm afraid that the outcome will become the same as Lackawanna.
Lackawaxen River.
Did I say Lackawanna? Oh, Lackawaxen. Sorry. Be vigilant, Jay, because it might be.
Coming to a town near you.
Be vigilant and show them our videos and say, don't be like this.
Yeah.
And if you are like that, follow us, like, and subscribe so we can show you how to fix it.
Thanks for doing my job.
Nice.
I think that's
You know
about
who
it.
just lost their job? Dan.
Woo!
I think that's about it. If you guys are cool,
Yeah, buddy.
because I have a shoot tomorrow, and then Saturday and Sunday is a big cleanup day.
I'm headed to D.C. tomorrow so I can petition our government to help with the homeless problem in Scranton.
Let me know how that goes. We're still trying to get fair funding for the Scranton School District. Pooh. Thank y'all. Any final words or comments or anything?
Thank you, everyone, for being part of the solution.
I like kind of seeing where this is going. It's kind of like an onion keep peeling back, where I think you guys started off with like the mess, but now getting into the mess of how it's actually affecting the environment. And then I know going forward, there's a lot more that it's not just as simple as just the homeless people and they're just out there. You know, there's a lot of problems here that are just in one little thing.
Yeah, they're human beings, and we can't forget that. So, thanks for tuning in.
Wait, one more thing before we go. Is the scarf going to be a permanent fixture of things that we're doing now?
It's wintertime. People wear scarves.
Dude, it was 70 degrees last week, and now it's down to 25. And I should know, because I went and helped 2 homeless sisters last night, freezing my ass. I wore this. I was happy I had the scarf.
Did you have your gloves on, too?
And they didn't work. I'm like, it's freezing. These gloves are pointless. They're like, it's like rubber. It doesn't even work.
Yeah. You look
All
good,
right.
though.
April Jenkins, thanks for sharing, guys. Keep up the good work. You are appreciated. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share the video that's now live on YouTube. If you want to share the podcast, too, we're going to greatly appreciate it. I know Dan will. It makes his job easier.
Mm-hmm.
All of us together, we are in this arc together. I don't give a fuck what political party you are. Leave it at the door and be a human being, and let's all get along and try to figure out how to make sure that we don't live in a fucking shithole. I just wanted to say that because Micah said bloodbath earlier, so I remember shithole was a buzzword a couple years. Okay, fuck off.
What a week.